Welcome to the Global Lens, bringing you the latest news from around the world. For over a century, the Panama Canal has been the lifeblood of global maritime trade, a vital artery that has shaped the flow of goods and the fortunes of nations. Since its opening in 1914, it has stood as a marvel of engineering and a symbol of international cooperation, allowing ships to bypass the long and perilous journey around South America. By connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the canal has enabled faster, more efficient shipping routes, transforming global commerce and making Panama a strategic crossroads. But today, July 30th, 2025, a new contender emerges, an ambitious $50 billion project on Mexico's narrowest land, the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. This region, long considered for its potential, is finally stepping into the spotlight. Backed by significant Chinese investment, this venture aims to build a high-speed rail line and modernize ports on both the Pacific and Atlantic coasts, directly challenging Panama's historic monopoly on interoceanic trade. The scale of ambition is staggering. This is one of Latin America's largest infrastructure investments ever, promising to reshape the economic landscape of the entire region. But this isn't just a railway, it's a sprawling industrial corridor, complete with manufacturing hubs, logistics centers, and free trade zones designed to attract global business and create thousands of jobs. The so-called dry canal promises to move cargo between oceans in mere hours, not days, offering shipping companies unprecedented efficiency, flexibility, and cost savings that could transform supply chains. Meanwhile, the Panama Canal, despite recent expansions, faces growing limits: bigger ships, rising global demand, and the unchangeable physical constraints of its locks and channels. The Tehuantepec route, long-eyed as a possible alternative, is now becoming reality thanks to Beijing's financial muscle and Mexico's renewed political will to transform its south. If successful, this project could revitalize southern Mexico, create new economic opportunities, and embed the region firmly within China's vast global trade network. The implications are profound, shifting supply chains, influencing global geopolitics, and raising urgent questions about U.S. influence in the region and China's expanding ambitions on the world stage. Yet, environmental and social costs loom large, with local communities and activists voicing concerns about displacement, ecological damage, and the true beneficiaries of this mega-project. The race for dominance is on, but not without controversy. As construction surges ahead, the world stands at the threshold of a new era in global trade, watching closely as old routes are challenged and new possibilities emerge. The old certainties are fading, Panama's crown is no longer secure, and the future of global shipping may soon be rewritten. The Interoceanic Corridor is a bold new project that links Salina Cruz on the Pacific coast to Coatzacoalcos on the Atlantic, just 300 kilometers apart at Mexico's narrowest point, where the land bridges two mighty oceans. But it's more than just a railway. Both ports are undergoing major modernization to handle the world's largest ships, with new cranes, expanded docks, and advanced logistics systems. The corridor will serve as a high-speed, integrated logistics platform connecting rail, road, and sea for seamless cargo movement. Construction began in late 2023, marking the start of a transformative era for the region. With full operations targeted for 2029, the project is moving forward at an ambitious pace, thanks to significant Chinese capital and technical expertise, which are helping to drive progress and innovation. The region's unique geography is both an advantage and a challenge, as the corridor cuts through biodiverse lands and indigenous communities, requiring careful planning and respect for local cultures. For Asia to U.S. East Coast trade, this route offers a faster, more direct path than the Panama Canal, potentially saving days of transit time. Along the rail line, 10 new industrial parks are planned to attract investment, foster innovation, and support manufacturing. These parks aim to create a self-sustaining economic ecosystem, generating opportunities for local businesses and global partners alike. The vision is not just a shortcut, but a powerful new engine for industrial growth and prosperity in southern Mexico. Hundreds of thousands of jobs could be created, offering new hope and opportunities for families across the region. This project could truly transform the region's economic landscape, bringing lasting change and development. The isthmus isn't just being crossed, it's being reinvented, reshaped for a new era of connectivity and growth. The Interoceanic Corridor could redefine Mexico's role in global logistics, placing it at the heart of international trade and supply chains. China's $50 billion investment in Tehuantepec is a strategic move, not charity. It fits the Belt and Road Initiative, expanding China's trade network into the Americas, right on the US doorstep. For Beijing, it's about securing supply chains and reducing reliance on the US-influenced Panama Canal. The corridor offers China a faster route for exports to the US East Coast and access to Latin American resources. Politically, it deepens China's ties with Mexico and challenges US dominance in the region. Chinese state-owned companies will build, operate, and manage key infrastructure, ensuring long-term influence. For China, this is a commercial gateway and a symbol of rising power in America's backyard. The Tehuantepec corridor is a new anchor point in China's global strategy. Comparing Tehuantepec and Panama comes down to time, cost, and capacity. A Shanghai to New York container ship takes 25 days via Panama. Tehuantepec could cut that to 22 days. The corridor charges per container, about $2,000, $2,500 per TEU, offset by savings in fuel and time. Panama's tolls are high and congestion is common. Tehuantepec's rail can run 24/7 with initial capacity at 1.4 million TEUs per year and room to grow. The land route is less vulnerable to drought, unlike Panama's water-dependent canal. Still, Panama's all-water route is better for bulk goods and avoids the complexity of unloading and reloading containers. Tehuantepec won't replace Panama, but it will fiercely compete for containerized cargo. The result, a new competitive landscape for interoceanic trade. Shipping companies now have a real alternative. The monopoly is over. The Tehuantepec corridor could reshape global supply chains and economies. For Panama, even a 10–15% loss in container traffic means billions in lost revenue and a need to adapt. For Mexico, the upside is huge jobs, foreign investment, and a manufacturing boom in the south. Proximity to the US makes it ideal for nearshoring, drawing companies seeking to shorten supply chains. Shipping firms will have to rethink strategies, balancing Tehuantepec's speed against Panama's simplicity. High-value, time-sensitive goods may shift to Mexico, bulk and low-value goods may stick with Panama. The corridor could make Mexico a top manufacturing base for US-bound goods. This is more than infrastructure. It's a catalyst for a new, regionalized model of global trade. The world's supply map is being redrawn. The US is watching the Chinese-funded corridor in Mexico with growing unease, its gaze sharpened by the scale and ambition of the project. American policymakers are increasingly vocal about the potential implications, seeing the corridor as more than just an economic venture. It's a strategic move that could alter the balance of power in the region. For over a century, the US has considered the region its backyard, with the Panama Canal as its strategic jewel. The canal has long symbolized American influence and control over vital global trade routes, serving as a linchpin for both commerce and security. Now, China's involvement in Tehuantepec challenges that dominance, introducing a new player with deep pockets and global ambitions. The corridor could become a rival to the Panama Canal, shifting trade flows and alliances. Publicly, US officials support Mexico's development. Privately, they worry about Chinese influence and potential security risks. Behind closed doors, there are intense discussions about how to respond to this growing presence. Concerns include debt trap diplomacy and the possibility of Chinese control if Mexico defaults, though Mexico insists safeguards are in place. The fear is that financial leverage could translate into political or even military influence down the line. There's also fear of Chinese intelligence gathering via advanced logistics systems, with high-tech ports potentially serving as hubs for data collection and surveillance. Other Latin American countries are both anxious and inspired, worried about trade shifts but seeing new models for development. Some see opportunity in partnering with China, while others fear being left behind or caught in a new great power rivalry. Panama is responding by investing in technology and efficiency, aiming to stay competitive. The country is modernizing its infrastructure, hoping to maintain its status as the region's premier trade gateway. The competition is forcing innovation across the region, as countries race to upgrade ports, streamline logistics, and attract global investment. The geopolitical chessboard has shifted, and every player is recalibrating. Alliances are being tested, and new strategies are emerging as nations adapt to the changing landscape. The US must now contend with a multipolar reality in its own hemisphere, where influence is no longer guaranteed and every move is scrutinized by rivals and partners alike. The stakes are higher than ever, with economic, political, and security interests all on the line. The outcome will affect not just trade, but the very nature of power in the Americas. The next moves will shape the future of the Americas, determining who leads, who follows, and how the region connects to the rest of the world. The corridor's economic promise comes with steep environmental and social costs. The isthmus is a biodiversity hotspot, home to endangered species and fragile ecosystems now threatened by construction and industrialization. Environmentalists warn of deforestation, pollution, and damage to marine life from port expansion. Indigenous communities, including the Zapotec and Mixay, fear displacement and loss of ancestral lands. Many say they weren't properly consulted and worry benefits will bypass them. Protests and legal challenges have erupted, highlighting deep tensions between national ambitions and local rights. The project's long-term success may depend on addressing these conflicts and delivering real benefits to local people. The corridor's legacy will be measured not just in trade, but in its impact on communities and nature. Tehuantepec is being built as a model of 21st century logistics, automated ports, driverless vehicles, and AI-powered management. Real-time tracking and predictive analytics promise unprecedented efficiency. Sustainability is a key selling point. Wind farms, solar panels, and reforestation are planned to offset environmental impacts. The goal is to brand the corridor as the world's greenest trade route. This reflects a global shift towards smarter, cleaner supply chains. But skepticism remains. Can these green promises survive the pressure for profits? Building and maintaining high-tech systems in a developing region is a huge challenge. The world is watching to see if Tehuantepec can deliver on its high-tech, eco-friendly vision. Its success or failure will set a precedent for future mega-projects. The $50 billion Tehuantepec corridor is a game-changer, challenging Panama's century-long dominance. Mexico, with China's backing, is poised to become a new trade nexus between Asia and the Americas. The project promises economic transformation but also brings environmental and social risks. It's a bold move in a multipolar world, forcing the US and Panama to adapt. The corridor's true legacy will depend on how it balances growth with justice for people and the planet. As the first trains roll, the world watches. Will this new artery connect and uplift, or divide and disrupt? The old monopoly is broken. A new era has begun. The final chapter is still unwritten.